Assange, libérez Julian Assange.
Libérez Julian Assange. Libérez Julian Assange. Libérez Julian Assange. Libérez Julian Assange.
Il y a des manifestations tout le temps, américains ou autres. C'est une justice injuste, illégale, extraterritoriale.
Le cas d'un journaliste, c'est bien de la démocratie dont il s'agit. Pourquoi? Parce que n'importe quel État...
C'est qui a été convoqué.
Thank you, well done. The court of public opinion speaks the truth from the lawyers behind me.
So today was a day of legal arguments, but really what it was an indictment of a rogue agency, the Central Intelligence Agency, which it pops up in each of the arguments, whether it was Julian exposing their torture program and their involvement in illegal killings, or their own plots to murder him. Throughout, the origin of this prosecution came about when the CIA head, Mike Pompeo, lost the plot. He lost the plot, and then he instrumentalized his agency to go after a media organization, to plot the murder of a journalist, and to imprison a publisher in London. They lost the plot. In Iraq and Afghanistan, the torture program that European countries willingly participated in. Whatever happens in the coming days, it's now been aired in court. The murder plot, the political motivation coming out of Mike Pompeo's obsession with killing Julian, and the murders that Julian exposed in Iraq and Afghanistan, the torture program that European countries willingly participated in. We free Julian, we regain our democracy. Let's free Julian. Come back here tomorrow. Free Assange.
Thank you all so much. Please tell your friends, your family, your workmates.
And it's so amazing that you should have to go through all this to get a chance to have these arguments presented in an appeal court. Stop an extradition. If it was any other country than the United States, it would suffice. His possibility to have a fair trial in the United States should in itself.
They say if Julian is sent to America, the chilling effect will silence other journalists. It has already been here for the past 12 years.
Freedom! Freedom! Freedom!
Freedom!
Monaco, Germania.
Siamo di fronte all'ambasciata del Regno Unito. Non so se l'ambasciatore...
Julian Assange means our right to be informed, means our right to know what our government do with our money in our interest, not on their interest. And so I call it the battle of the battles because it's very important to avoid the journalism could be considered a crime. Journalism is not a crime, and journalism means our defense.
Canada, Toulon, Francia, Toulouse, Francia.
Abbiamo pensato di comporre qualcuno venga a reggerlo.
US prosecutors are seeking to put the 52-year-old on trial on 18 counts. They relate to WikiLeaks' high-profile release of troves of confidential US military records and diplomatic cables. Speaking outside the court in front of a crowd demanding his release, his wife Stella said his case was politically motivated.
There is no possibility of a fair trial if Julian is extradited to the United States. He should never be extradited to the United States. He would never be safe. The United States plotted to murder my husband. He is being accused of journalism. This case is an admission by the United States that they now criminalize investigative journalism. It's an attack on all journalists all over the world. It's an attack on the truth, and it's an attack on the public's right to know. Julian is a political prisoner, and his life is at risk.
She also likened his case to that of Alexei Navalny, the Russian opposition activist who died in prison on Friday while serving a 3-decade sentence. United States prosecutors argue the leaks put the lives of their agents at risk and that there is no excuse for his criminality. Lawyers for the US said their case against him was consistently and repeatedly misrepresented by Assange's legal team. But Assange's supporters hail him as an anti-establishment hero and a journalist persecuted for exposing wrongdoing. Assange's legal battles began in 2010. He spent 7 years in Ecuador's embassy in London before being dragged out and jailed in 2019 for breaching bail conditions. He has since been held in a maximum security London jail and even got married there. His extradition to the US was eventually approved in 2022. His legal team are trying to overturn that approval in front of 2 judges, in what could be his last opportunity to prevent extradition in English courts. Assange himself was not in court nor watching remotely because he was unwell, according to his lawyer. Edward Fitzgerald says if convicted, Assange could be given a sentence as long as 175 years, but it's likely to be at least 30 to 40 years. If Assange wins this case, a full appeal hearing will be held to again consider his challenge. If he loses, his only remaining option would be at the European Court of Human Rights.